Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Baron here. So what we're about to see is some Panzer gameplay. Now this isn't part of the footage that most everyone's seen at this point. I think it's like some 50,000 views on that video that most of us have used. The 19 minutes and 6-second gameplay. This is what happened basically before that, from my understanding. And how I learned about that was a fan, Rion Hansen, who got the raw footage, and the link for the raw footage of this video will be found in the video description below. So a big thank you, Rion, for that. And pardon me if I mispronounced your name. But right now you can see it's the same map we've seen. There's a Panzer IV Ausf C, Panzer III Ausf F, Panzer IV Ausf F2, and a Panzer III Ausf L. And the Panzer III Ausf L is tier 5, and I think that has the high velocity cannon. The Panzer IV Ausf F2 also looks like that, whereas the Stug 3 Ausf F. Yeah, so basically, quick tip, if you're looking for the best cannon, generally, now this is a rule and there are some exceptions obviously, but if you're looking for the tank that will handle the best against other tanks, better chances of penetration, generally the longer the barrel, the higher the velocity, and therefore the better chance of penetration. Obviously you're going to have the right basically caliber of cannon. But you can see here, this is the Panzer III Ausf L, and a quick tip for Panzers is look at the bogey wheels. Here we have 6 bogey wheels divided by 2 Panzer III. Now I think that red text just meant that someone was capturing zone C, but you can see the movement of the Panzer tank, and a lot of people are questioning, you know, what is it going to be for, will this impact gameplay? Will it be kind of race, sit down and shoot at each other? Or, you know, what will basically happen? The tank ahead, looking at the rear section, it definitely looks different. You can see him firing at some rocks ahead of him, almost nicking his teammate. I would guess that that is the Panzer IV, pardon me. And up on that hill is a nice pillbox kind of overlooking the area. Who knows if in the future there's AI controlled artillery or machine gun nests. Look at these just concrete tank traps and the iron and the metallic hedgehogs. Oh, that looked like it was a sheer cliff face. Granted, the quality of these kind of videos, since it was ripped from a stream and the stream's quality was lowered to kind of accommodate more viewers. But the mobility of this thing's looking pretty good. It's able to climb the hills, not too much of trouble. Looking at the explosions in the background, some friendly tanks popping up, the rock outcroppings, the little hills that you're going to be using. That looks like a Panzer III as well that he's engaging, and over there, Panzer IV Ausf C. And the Panzer IV Ausf C, you could see, if you look really closely, rewind that, it looked like the shell kind of arced, because that's basically what a lot of tank guns you're going to have to really know. This guy is armed with a tank penetrating gun, and you saw him miss right there. Who is this coming up? That's a Panzer IV Ausf F2 coming up. Now it looks like this guy just died as you your screen pop. Oh, he didn't die, pardon me. He's calling in an artillery strike. Now, from what I understand, from what I've been told, heavy tanks will not have the option of calling in artillery strikes. And we've seen the T-70 as far as Russian tanks go, but the T-60 will also be in game. So we had the Panzer III Ausf L. He's going for the Panzer IV Ausf C, which is at tier 3, pretty early. So you can kind of see that tiering, I think, will go more towards the armament and less towards the armor in most cases. I mean, seeing a Panzer IV at tier 3, which is obviously subject to change. This guy's calling in artillery. Another Panzer III it looks like. Crouching up. The level of quality. Look at that guy getting caught on the tank trap. That was amazing. Yeah, so the terrain is rather dynamic. Now, people were talking about the basically close proximity of these maps. This is rather short, and look at this kind of just cliff area. It's very dynamic as far as like elevation of the terrain and just all the little details going into it. And he's calling it an artillery strike. On it looks like a Panzer IV Ausf C, potentially. Yeah. But people were saying, oh, these maps look kind of close, and for the most part, you're going to be going for close maps with arcade, and historical battles and then eventual full real battles are going to be completely different. You can kind of tell, like, I think when you look at that turret just popping off right there. When you look at maps right now for planes, generally the arcade maps are more dynamic, they're smaller, and there's greater elevation changes, which is very similar to what we're seeing here with tanks. And it looks like the enemy's capturing A right now, that little Russian text. Looking at those hills, all the bunkers and fixed positions are pretty cool, though they're not firing at you yet. Who knows if they will in the future. But in historical battles with planes, you have bigger, flatter maps, and I expect that to be more the case because you're going to have maps that are based off of historical battle sites, and there's not too many high elevation maps, though you could get some, but I think for the most part they're going to be flatter maps. Not to say they're completely flat, there's going to be hills to make things dynamic, but I think mobility, maneuvering, and planning with your teammates and within your squad is going to be have much more importance. Look at this guy falling down, and he is done. Generally, when you flip your tank, you blow up. And do we see the timer? Yeah, there it is. It's basically the J count from 3 to 0 right there. So flipped his tank, and you're done. But definitely, what you should get out of this is with artillery strikes, heavy tanks won't have that, and that kind of forces things to not say so stagnant. And then with historical battle maps, expect them to be bigger, expect them to have maneuvering play more of a role, so it's not just run up to each other and then slug it out. Maneuvering is going to be a key aspect, what I imagine. And Gaijin has said that the historical battle maps and then future full real battle maps, I'm assuming, I'm lumping full real battle, eventual full real battle into historical battle, will be more dependent on maneuvering. So fear thee not. Anyway, I'm Baron, and as always, thank you for watching. Do svidaniya. So here we have the KV-1. Look at that rear machine gun facing the turret, and then look at that front of that turret as he fires that cannon. Beast mode. We also see a Stug 3 and then another KV-1. And check out the rear of that Stug. Look at the detail. And so he's going to be following this KV-1. Now as you're looking at it, this KV-1 seems to be moving pretty quickly. The level of detail, the trees, the rocks, and if you look really closely, you'll see a lot of like little hills, little elevation changes